Mike Tomlin got a new 3-year extension from my Pittsburgh Steelers. As a reminder, Steelers Almighty podcast is out and available anywhere you get your podcast. Also, it's available on YouTube. Make sure you go to Steelers Almighty on YouTube and subscribe. YouTube.com/Steelers Almighty. Make sure you do that. We're 60 days in, and we are growing like wildfire on that thing, people. So I appreciate the support there. But yeah, Mike Tomlin gets a new 3-year extension. I thought, and I know a lot of Steeler fans thought, okay, this is when the Rooneys are going to say, okay, it's time for you to prove this thing, Mike Tomlin. Not necessarily prove himself, but show, okay, we've got to flip the script on this. It's time to go win. And I need you to prove that you can now win without Ben Roethlisberger. Well, apparently the Steelers feel differently. And they're like, and they came out and said it. Stability is a big thing, and Mike Tomlin brings stability. He is a huge part of our future. Now, let the Steelers go 5-12 this year. I think it's a different conversation. I think Mike Tomlin could still be let go. I believe that. Wholeheartedly, that could happen. Having said that, I think Mike Tomlin's going to be in Pittsburgh for a while. Good or bad, I think that's what's going to happen. A 3-year extension and not a 2-year extension. I think with the 3-year extension, I think the Steelers are saying, yeah, he's going to be here. So I don't know if Steeler fans like that. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it right now. Like I said, I am a big Mike Tomlin fan, but I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler fan as well, first and foremost. And I'm just not sure that unless he's changed his philosophy on how to win football games, if he's done that, I can live with it. But if he hasn't done that, then I can't live with it, because I've said this a million times. In today's football, the way that football is played, you cannot just get by with mediocre offense, outstanding defense, good special teams, and hope to make a play at the end to win the game. You can win games that way. You cannot win in the playoffs. You have got to be able to put up points. You've got to be able to give your defense a rest. You can't continuously have 3 and outs. Steeler drives are constantly 3 and out, 8 plays, touchdown/field goal. 3 and out, touchdown/field goal. And they end up with 14 or 17 points a game. You're not winning consistently like that, man. You're just not. And that's where the Steelers are. That's where Mike Tomlin has lived. Well, you can't live that way, man. The rules aren't allowing for defense to do the things that they used to be able to do. You can't do it anymore. So we got to change. We just got to change. So hopefully Mike Tomlin understands that. It looks like they've rebuilt their line, so they're dedicating to running the football. I love that part. We'll see what the quarterback situation looks like. We'll see what the wide receiver situation looks like. I like Arthur Smith. I was against it at the beginning, but he's on my team. I got to root. So I got to root. But we'll find out what's happening with the Steelers and Mike Tomlin. Like I said, the extension is something good, and it can be something bad. But we will see. More importantly, I'm going to talk about this on Steelers Almighty tomorrow, but it was very important to bring up today because, like I said, Mike Tomlin is one of the best coaches in the National Football League. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. There's no questioning or denying any of that. But sometimes you wear out your welcome. Hopefully that hasn't happened in Pittsburgh. So hopefully that hasn't happened in Pittsburgh, because I would hate for that to have happened, and yet we're still running the coach out there, running the same philosophy out there, and it's not getting us anywhere. We're not getting any better. So it's a good question. Haven't the Rooneys earned the benefit of the doubt in coaching decisions? You can say that, but they fired Chuck Knoll. They ran Chuck Knoll out. And if you can run Chuck Knoll out, you damn sure can run Mike Tomlin out. So It's not about haven't they earned the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, they have. But that doesn't mean that they're not above criticism. They're not above making mistakes. And like I said, they ran Chuck Knoll out, and the man had won 4 Super Bowls, and they were done. So why can't you get rid of Mike Tomlin again? I just, and don't talk to me about some undefeated, this record of him being above 500. It's a great feat. It is. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean anything, because if you're above 500, the last 7 years, they haven't won a playoff game. 4 of the years, they didn't even make the playoffs. So at what point do we want something better? That's all I'm saying. At what point do we want something better? But we'll see. We'll see. Could always be worse, too. And I think that might be part of the problem, is it could always be worse. So you get rid of Mike Tomlin, who are you replacing him with? Are you getting better? Because if you're not getting better, then what's the point? There's that. So we'll see. We will absolutely see. Let's move on, man. Q&A section today. My man Mo Talk Sports. Big B, what do you expect from George Pickens this year? I'm expecting a breakout season. I am too. It's quiet as it's kept. He had a decent season last year with below average quarterback play for the majority of the season. He didn't have a horrible year last year. But if the offensive line is better and they can run the ball more, that means they'll be able to protect better. We definitely will have better quarterback play. Can't be worse than Baby Hands Pickett and Mitchell Trubisky, and even Mason Rudolph. It will be better. I'm looking for the Steelers and for George Pickens to have a big year. A big year. So we'll see what happens there, man. But yeah, I'm expecting that. I can't wait for football to start. This period right now, this lull, like I said, I told you all before, I'm in basketball fatigue. Even though the NBA finals are going on, I'm still basketball fatigue. I'm over it. I'm ready for football. I'm not rooting in baseball. I'm not paying attention because my Mets have been out of it already for a month and a half. And what's the season? 2 months long? And my Mets have been out of it for a month and a half already. So I'm done with baseball. I can't wait for the Olympics, and I can't wait for football.